Hello, this is Wombatsack and welcome to my channel. Today, 7 segment and 16 segment displays. So, welcome back to my Redstone world. We're going to be looking at this 16 segment and that 7 segment displays. Now, quick overview of this one. This is the 16 segment display. It's an 11 by 5 display with segments labelled A going round to P in 2 circles. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go and activate the memory power, which actually allows it to read what's on the memory, which is this switch here. As you saw, what that did was it activated the power for all of the repeaters down there, so all the blocks over there are powered. And here we go. This is what the first level is reading. It's an A. We have a control panel here. We've got a button here to run, i.e. it cycles through the letters A to Z and then 0 to 9. We've got step, which just increments it by 1, so it'll go to A to B, B to C, C to D, etc. And this is change direction, and this is how allows you to go in. So you can either go A, B, C, D, or you can go B, A, 9. Yes, that was a struggle. And here we have an indicator to show which direction it'll be going in. So forwards, backwards, the clockwise and anti-clockwise are because those are the rotation of the memory over there. That's just a note for myself. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show it going round. Here we go. So B, C, D, you get the idea. You'll notice there's quite a bit of delay. Some of that is due to the data getting from the memory, and most of it though is, you can see over here, we have these rows of repeaters. That's so I'll try to match up all of the display elements, all the segments, so that they activate at the same time, and the highest delay in wiring these segments, I think, was 9. So all of them are set to have 9 tick delays before they're activated, which is what causes most of that delay. That high delay being caused by these vertical stacks. So to Y, up to Z. Now through the numbers. Now if all goes well, we should automatically stop when we get back to A. So here's the hoping. There we go. Good stuff. I noticed we got back to A there because over there I saw this move, and also these are my little debugging tools. On the left there, shown by this, we have run, so that shows whether run is on or off. And on the right there, we've got the blue one, which is the notch stop. I'll explain those later. Now showing it in the other direction, same thing really. So I'll only go a little bit. In fact, I'll step it in the other direction to show off the step. So we step back to 9 and see it's not going any further. Step back to 8. There we go. So that's it running and working. Let's go see how it does that. So here's the front of the display with these different segments in there. And this is the back, a bit more complex. So as well as being all the different elements of each segment being wired together, I've also expanded it out to make it nice and neat to lay out on the floor here. So what I'll do is I'm going to jolly on over here, where we've got the version that I've saved as a schematic, which I should be making available. And it's a lot easier to see what's going on. So each colour on the end here, I think it takes all the colours of the wall, but there are actually, yes, there are 16 colours of wall. Each of those is the activation point for each segment. So we've got here A, B, C, D, E, F, GH and goes around again in the middle, getting to P, which is the green one here. So look at the front. Normally, when it's off, they'll be held in an inactive state, but this one's actually got no power. This one is in the right sort of state, but this one has nothing, no power applied to it at all. So obviously all the pistons are off or retracted, just to display all the elements. So what I'll do, just to show what I mean, we'll go to load one. Put nice levers. So if I put one on here, but actually, what we'll do is we'll try and make the letter A. We'll try and force the letter A. So for A, we want to have the segments A, B, C, D, not E and F, G and H, and we do not want to have I, J, or K. We want that one, we want that one, we don't want these two, it's three, sorry. And around here, hopefully, I'm all let me go at this. Yes, we have an A. So as you can see, activating and deactivating these back here generates the display. I'll leave that. And this is when how it would normally look when everything's off, so it's just a flat surface. Moving back over here, I've expanded all of them out, all the segments out, so that they lay in a nice order, going from A on the right here over to P on the left. The reason I've done it in that order there is so that when I look at the memory, it goes A to P, and it's a lot easier for me looking at memory than it is to look at it doing that way. All of these take different amounts of time delays to get up, as I mentioned earlier. So I've synchronized them all. Like I said, I think it's this. I think it's actually segment B has the 9 delay. That means the rest of them have to be set to 9 delay. If I was going to do this again, I would probably use the update for glowstone, which means you can put redstone on the glowstone, thereby making a no delay vertical stack, which obviously would cut out a lot of the delay. So here's the memory. It's an 18. It's got 18 tapes, and each tape has got 36 bits on. 18 because we've got 16 segments from A to P, and then on the end here we've got what I have called clockwise stop and anti-clockwise stop. These are just tapes that tell the when it's doing the automatic run, these send a signal off to tell it when to stop going, basically. And each tape has got the correct elements for each correct bit sets for each letter and number display, so that when they all line up here together, it generates the correct display for whatever value it should be at that point. So, like I made the as I showed you making the A over there, this one's making an 8 by activating and deactivating the correct segments. Now, as there's a hell of a lot of blocks here, updating them all at the same time is quite a computing process, computing task. So this is actually quite a laggy machine. You might have noticed I had to be stopped still over there. If I was trying to move while it was running, it would be very jerky. This does use a lot of memory, annoyingly. But hey ho, we can't avoid that. At least I haven't found a way of avoiding that yet. There probably are ways. We'll find them in due course. So, as I showed you earlier, this is the read power. If I turn that off, it just stops it being able to read anything. I'll turn that back on. What we have here are the reading fronds or prongs or sticks or whatever. These take the because these are all powered all the time. If this is conductive, i.e. when it's the nether rack, it means that the signal will pass through and go on and activate a segment. And if it's non-conductive, as in the glowstone here, it will stop the signal and therefore the signal will be deactivated. I use redstone and netherrack and glowstone here just because I do, and it looks nice. So yeah, these prongs take the signal down and into the display. The reason they're high in the air is because of the wiring because of this wiring for the systems. So how does this move? Very simple. We have a clock here. This all runs off one clock. A clock here that on either side of it, so on one side it will activate either horizontal, like the horizontal pistons, and the other side it will activate the vertical pistons, and thereby pushes one. So it will push these across and those across that way at the same time, and then those up and those down at the same time. But I'll go and activate it for you manually just to give you an idea of that. So it will be, as I said, it will be quite laggy, but we'll just have to deal with that. So if I activate the clock, this is currently set to be going in anti-clockwise direction. So as you can see, as you can see by the movement of the red blocks against the yellow blocks, it's going round and round in an anti-clockwise direction, and each time it's updated, these change, creating a new word, which is then converted to the display signal. I'm going to deactivate that. That's what I mean by the laggy bit. Very annoying. Yep. Now, you may be wondering why there are two pistons on each end. This is because, like I said, it can go in both directions, and this is the control circuitry that allows it to go in both directions and allows it to choose which direction it goes in. Now over here I showed you this button which changes the direction. So if you click that, it will then go into clockwise and then back into anti-clockwise. I'll show you what that does over here. Now the main thing that does, the thing that changes the rotation itself, is caused by these two switches, whereby so if you notice here, it says on the left, if it's in the left configuration, it's in clockwise mode. If it's in the right, it's in anti-clockwise mode. It's currently in anti-clockwise mode, which means that the signal here from the clock will always go in both ends, but as you can see, only one is conductive, and this one is not conductive. The conductive one is taken away, and as it's in anti-clockwise mode, it goes away over to the anti-clockwise area, and this one actually does the horizontal clockwise rotation. So horizontal anti-clockwise or counterclockwise rotation, should I say? So that will activate these pistons all at the same time to push these blocks on the bottom here along that way, and at the same time going up this stack here, vertical transmission here, it will activate all these pistons at the same time and push this top row across all at the same time as well. And then obviously this side, all this one does is this does the anti-clockwise vertical ones. So this side of the clock, it's been here, the conductive side here, comes over to the anti-clockwise vertical, so it does those ones and does those ones there. Now when you flick this switch, you'll notice that they change sides. Now it's in clockwise mode. So exactly the opposite is true now, non-conductive and conductive. So it conducts over to the clockwise sections, and the same for that side will come over to the clockwise horizontal. Now, I mentioned these stop tapes. These are in different positions for different directions, and have to be because of that, because of A, because of delays, and B, because of the different orientation of the clock with respect to the different orientation of the clock with respect to whether horizontal or vertical pistons are active first changes, whether it's in anti-clockwise or clockwise mode. So in clockwise mode, as it is at the moment, when the clock is started, this piston will be activated, pushing the diamond block over here, activating this line here, which will then activate the clockwise vertical motion. These ones here. Now that's possible because I call this block here and the corresponding block down in that corner, which I call the key blocks. That's just the phrase that I use, nothing official. They are in a position to be pushed, as opposed to over here, there's an absence of the key block. So if these pistons are activated first, then nothing will happen. Whereas if you activate these ones, then the blocks will be pushed round. Now, when you're in clockwise mode, you have to push down first, or up first, and then across. Whereas if you're in counterclockwise mode, you have to push across first and down second. As you can see, this is the down for clockwise, but it's across for counterclockwise. And that is the main reason why we have these stop bits in different places, because it takes the signal from different sides of the clock, depending if you're in clockwise or counterclockwise mode. Now, moving on from how it changes direction to how it actually runs. When you click the run here, I will not do it as it's, see from that blue marker, it's ready to activate, and I don't want it to activate, which it will if I press run. So if I press run here, it will send a signal down this redstone wire, down, go through, and it's this one here that it comes out as. Oh no, sorry, this one here that it comes out as. Trust me. Yes. What this does is tell you what, I shall just get rid of that, and that will allow me to activate this. So what that does is it throws another one of these style switches, do that, and now it's in run mode, which means that it has an electrical connection here, which will, if this was activated, if that redstone was there, an even better demonstration would be to break that and to reconnect this. This pushes this block into place. You notice more of these enable switches, or I suppose they're kind of transistors really. That pushes there, which allows the run signal access to the clock. Again, another enable there. When you press run again, you'll see that obviously the switch has changed position again, and this no longer is active, and that no longer allows access, allows the run signal, the stop signal access, not stop as this is, to the clock enable. The other signal here, this signal here, is the step which bypasses all of this gubbins and just directly accesses the clock. And this only because it's just a switch, just a direct connection from the switch. All it does is it turns it on for about a second and then turns it off. And as this block here does not get round here again in a second, that only activates the clock once, which steps it round once. Extra control that we have here with the manner. Now I'm going to talk about the manner in which it automatically stops, and it does that using these two signals from here. This is clockwise stop, this is anti-clockwise stop. I use ACW and CCW randomly, it seems. I don't know why. And these are taken down here to another. I like these style of switches. Another one of these switches. So when it's in anti-clockwise mode, it's over this side, and when it's in clockwise mode, it's over this side. And that, obviously, this is the clockwise stop signal, and on this side, it is the counterclockwise stop signal. And they are then given access to here. This is not stop, hence the not stop indicator I mentioned earlier. When the stop signal is active, it obviously inverts it here, so not stop becomes low, and then that means that it will, when this is here, which it would be, it will stop the clock because this will no longer be powered, even if this block is here. As well as this, to stop it from enabling again, once it's gone past the stop signal and therefore this has gone low again, put a little monostable here, it's a short pulse, which if we had that high, if I generate a quick pulse here just forcibly, so I go like this, notice it's then turned off this run signal again, so even when this becomes high again, when it gets back to the A, which is the row with the glass, so even when this is high, this is low, which means that the not stop is not given access to the clock. I hope that made sense. If it didn't, message me, and I shall either re-record or I shall just explain it again. And when you change the direction, all that happens is this is also switched, and you get and now it's in clockwise mode because the clockwise stop signal is now given access to the same circuitry. So it'll do the same job, but it'll just accept the clockwise signal rather than the counterclockwise signal. I'm just trying to think if I've actually put anything else in here. Right, last thing, before I go over to the 7-segment display, which will be a lot shorter than this, trust me. This here is yet another way of stopping it messing up, which is when the direction change signal is given, as in when you push the change direction button. Move that so they're in the same place as that one there. I want them all to be tied up in the same configuration, obviously. I should just break this link, stop the signal, whatever signal I put here going across, and put a lever in there. So when the change direction signal comes in, it will activate this. And, that's very wrong. Okay, give me a minute. So I've just made a quick alteration there. You may notice this is now in a different setup. I just noticed that the not signal that I tried to generate was actually being bypassed completely by this repeater, which was still activating this stone, whether it was the not or not. I don't actually know why I thought that would work. I was probably tired. Anyway, so what this does is when you get a this stops. This is another way of stopping access to the clock, whereby the run signal is blocked this time, rather than the run signal is blocked here rather than being stopped over there. Sorry, no, the run signal is blocked this time rather than the stop signal being blocked. And this works by when a signal comes in saying change direction, obviously this will go high, which will raise this block, removing any connection here, and so this piston will retract, removing any connection for the stop signal to get to the clock. And then when it's finished changing direction, this will then be activated. This will then be activated again, replacing this block and then allowing access to the clock again. It's just a little anti mess up, anti screw up device that I tried to implement, and so far it seems to have worked. So that is the control circuitry. Obviously, delays for controlling it are caused by having to get the signal over here. If I was really bothered, I would download the mod to allow me to transmit wirelessly, or I'd work out a vanilla wireless mod, vanilla wireless transmission, which I've seen videos of. But to be honest, there's so much delay in it, the extra delay caused by this really doesn't count that much. Further versions will obviously have less delay, or as little delay as possible. So, that is the 16 segment display. I hope that was useful, or at least interesting. As I said, I'll be uploading the schematic of the 16 segment display very shortly. Now I'm going to go and talk about, also I'll be uploading it with a video of, with a tutorial video on how to build it shortly. Now we're going to go and have a look at the 7 segment display, which is a lot simpler, and because it uses a lot of the same concepts but without all this control circuitry, and obviously it doesn't have 16 displays, so it's only got 7, so all this lot is a lot easier as well. Well, one short trip later and one drink later, to save my voice, we are over here at the 7 segment display. As you can see, it's just the display module, same kind of layout at the back here to get it going from A to G. And also you can see in this one I've also implemented the synchronization so that they all act at the same point, even though it does add extra delay. But hey ho. So what we'll do is just give it a run and see what happens. Cue delay. So 1, 2, 3. This one actually seems to be slower than the 16 segment, which I don't remember it being. But oh well. It's probably because this was my first go at this sort of thing. Now, all going well. Good stuff. So finishes. So all it does is it cycles from 0 to 0 again. Off we go through all the numbers. Now, going around the back, that's just the start line. You'll notice it's only got one control line this time, go. I didn't bother putting in any other control because I was just testing how much redstone stuff I could actually do. You'll notice it's just tape memory again, although these ones are a lot smaller. There are only 7 of them, and they have only got 10 bits in each tape. But the concept is still the same. Each one has got the each row has the code which will display a number. Now the way that in this one that the signal is routed to the display is a lot. Well, it isn't very efficient at all. I don't know why is it like this. I think I just confused myself a bit. Like I said, first attempt. Keep going back to that. So what it does is, under each active element, which is the one in the middle here, we've got a redstone torch which powers the block that's above it, and then that is then, if it's the netherrack, then it's obviously conductive, so it gets sent into this transmission, and if it's the glowstone, then it doesn't get sent. And then we go, this one's a bit special because it's on the end, so I'll go through one of the usual ones. All it does is it goes vertically up to here, so that it's inverted at this stage, and then it goes down again all the way to the floor. So you'll notice, as with the other one, I like to have them down on the floor before I yes, before I start working on them. No innuendo intended. So over here we have each signal, and then each one is routed to the display. So at the moment it's in configuration to display as 0. And all of them but one are activated. Yep. And this one is also 1 clock. I think this is actually a slower clock. Is it? No. I don't know. Anyway, it's got 1 clock again, and with a familiar enable/disable device. How this works is when you push the control thing over there, button, like that, it briefly enables the clock, which runs around once, and then oh, of course, yes, I forgot the other bit that the control line does, which is this G-type. I'll tell you what, we'll ignore that thing that's happened. I'll actually push the button this one. I'll push it from here this time. So, as you can see, it enabled the clock once, and what it also did over here, you can see it cycling now, is it generated a pulse here, which clocked this D-type. You will recognise this D-type from my collection of them over there. What that did was it changed the toggled the state of the output, which then activated the clock enable yet again. This time holding it enabled, because obviously the state of the D-type output is latched. So this latches the output on, so it keeps clocking round, and so the display so the tape goes round, and the display cycles through the digits. Now, you might wonder how it stops. That's done by, if it doesn't have a control tape, this is done by a far less elegant manner, in a far less elegant manner in this one. Basically, it's a 7-input NAND gate. This is fun to wire in. So each segment's output line is brought over here, and then either just left as it is or inverted, depending on whether I want it to it should be. Anywho, yes, and what this does is it, when they are at 9, I think it is actually, or it might be 8, because of the delay, I had to offset it a bit. This was obviously a lot harder to change where the offset is than the tape one was, where in the tape one you can swap out a block. In this one you have to go through each of these independently and invert them or double invert them. So when all these when all these tracks here are powered, these obviously all these resonance switches are off, which turns this output off, which just like this piston at the start here does, it generates a pulse. It turns this bit off, and then as it will cycle around to the next one, which brings this back online again. It's a pulse here. This is the clock input of the D-type. It then clocks through again and inverts the state of the output, thereby disabling the clock by retracting this piston, and that's how it stops.
Thanks for watching.